Holy shit! Impact Wrestling was a great show. I'm Nathan. I'm here for the Impact Slammiversary review of 07/18/2020. Bunch of really great returns. We had the Motor City Machine Guns return. We had Eric Young return. We had the Good Brothers return. And also we had, finally at the end of the night, we had EC3 return. The whole show starts off with the Rascals and their open challenge being accepted by the returning Motor City Machine Guns. If you don't know your TNA history, the Motor City Machine Guns were one of the longest running TNA Tag Team Champions. They had a really good empty arena match with the Young Bucks. It was just amazing. Good all around match. It's great to see the Motor City Machine Guns back with like the best tandem offense in the world. Yeah, it was friggin' amazing. The Rascals looked really good as well, but man, it's all the Motor City Machine Guns. They hit their tandem offense, the camel clutch dropkick combo, and man, it's really good to see the Guns back in TNA. They were there maybe 10 years ago. Chris Sabin's a former world champion. I thought he would be the only former world champion we would get on the night, but no. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. After the match, they ended up winning with the dirt bomb, and it was amazing to see the Guns back. It's probably the reason, probably the biggest thing from the show. It would have been the biggest thing from the show if not everyone else. Then we see a segment with Rosemary and Taya and Bravo. They pretty much tell Johnny Bravo both you're going to win. Johnny Bravo, who has the hots for Rosemary, and he's also Tessa Blanchard, Taya Valkyrie's manager. After that, we get Dreamer versus Moose. Really decent old school match. Really did its job putting Moose over. We get Tommy Dreamer coming out with his tribute to Terry Funk, wearing a Moose Sucks Eggs t-shirt that apparently you can now buy on Pro Wrestling Tees. A tribute to a Terry Funk match. I had a few with Dusty Rhodes, and he said Dusty sucks eggs. So obviously Tommy Dreamer being Tommy Dreamer, tributing Dusty Rhodes in times, tributing Terry Funk now. Moose comes out with a new TNA title. It has a white strap on it, and it's actually a really nice idea instead of the old black strap. And he also said he's a wrestling god, so he's stealing JBL's old catchphrases too, apparently. I don't know what you want to steal from Hill JBL, but all he needs is a limo and a cabinet, and he'll be TNA's JBL. Really good match. It's really great to see a guy like Moose move around as well as he does. He's quick, he's agile, he has standing moonshots. It's all Moose till Dreamer goes all hardcore and starts hitting him and beating him up. And Moose goes all hardcore, and this match is mostly Moose. Moose just beats on him. You didn't expect Dreamer to win. There's no way Dreamer was winning this match, but Moose, there's one spot in the match where Moose power bombs him on a bunch of steel chairs. Dreamer gets a hope spot in, where he DDTs him on a chair, tries to go at the cover. There's a spot in the match where Dreamer brings in a bunch of thumbtacks and tries to throw Moose on it, and Moose goes naba. He grabs him by the back of the head and has him held up by the thumbtacks. It looks really brutal, and goes, "You're nobody, Dreamer. This is my title," and slams his head into the thumbtacks. Look brutal as shit. I've actually never seen that spot, but it's face first into a bunch of thumbtacks. I don't know if the thumbtacks were real. I don't know if the thumbtacks worked, but you get your head shoved into a bunch of thumbtacks. Yeah, Moose ends up winning with a spear. Moose looked really good in this match. Looked like a champion. The white belt really helps. Dreamer did a job and put Moose over like $1 million bucks. Next, we got our Knockout Gauntlet match. So the whole thing starts with Tasha Steelz and Kylie Ray. It's up. They do a pretty good back and forth. Johnny Bravo comes out dressed up as Taya Valkyrie. I was trying to figure out why that was like it was. Then gets eliminated. Out next, we have Kimberly. Kimberly, mostly starts over using her strength, gets some good work in. Then Kara Hogan comes out, and she teams up with Tasha Steelz. Apparently, they're really good friends. Kara Hogan's ass. It's probably a good reason to watch this match than anything else. really good, decent back and forth match. Um, yeah, they both team up, and then Kimberly comes out, and then yeah. So before they came out, Kimberly came out, and they're all happy because they're in the match. And then Kimberly tries to come in and say, "Yeah, I want to be your friend too," but then she gets beat up for it. It's pretty good. Out, yes, out next is Susie, the former Sunon comes out. She starts cleaning house, getting her shit in. Uh, Eventually, RVD's girlfriend, Kanati Sealed, comes out with uh, guns that fire paper, apparently, and she starts twerking. She's announced from the twerk city. Uh, she was not very good, but she was basically there for tits and ass. Carrie Higgins, I love your outfit, and they start twerking. Yeah, the commentary tries to explain twerking, and I'm just not really feeling it. Madison Rain comes out next. Does her typical Madison Rain things. Has a match for a little while. Does a few things with Kylie Ray saying, you're not supposed to apologize. Stop apologizing. Stop being so nice. Next up is Havoc, and Havoc's a big woman. This match is hard to follow. Starts throwing her weight around. Yeah. After that, the real Taya comes out, and she's like, "Yay!" Looks a lot better than Johnny Bravo dressed up as her. Starts taking the match over. Nevada is out next. There's a spot where Rosemary comes out, starts cleaning house, and Johnny Bravo comes out again, dressed up as Rosemary this time instead of Taya. Her and Ty Valkyrie and Rosemary starts fighting. This was not very good. Uh, Starts fighting over Johnny Bravo. Havoc grabs them both by the throat to choke them out over the ropes. Uh, Kylie Ray eliminates them. Yeah. There's one spot where Alyssa Edwards comes out in this match. All in all, it's a bit of a clusterfuck. It comes down to Kylie Ray winning with... What essentially happens is it gets down to Ty Valkyrie, Rosemary, and Kylie Ray. At one part of the match, Taya eliminates Rosemary by accident, eats a super kick from Kylie Ray, and then Kylie Ray wins. That's basically it. Pretty decent match, but nothing you need to go out of your way and watch. After that, we see Heath Slater, the Scott Hall, comes out from the crowd. There is no crowd, it's Kovic. Comes out from where the crowd would be, jumps the crowd and says, I'm here to make an impact. I know there's an opening in the world title match. I want that opening. I want a challenge. And then Rojit Raju comes out and goes, you haven't been here that long. You can't just wash your way into an impact and challenge him for a fight. Heath Slater hits his finish, which I believe is a jumping zigzag. I've never seen Heath Slater's finisher. Basically beats him out. They didn't call him Heath Slater, they were calling him Heath. So, yeah. Next up, we get the Chris Bay and Willie Mack match. Willie Mack comes out in a blue Razor Ramon-inspired attire. I thought it was really good. Instead of having razor blades, he had chocolate bars because Willie Mack's a big guy. The commentary is all over this. Willie Mack can move amazing for a man of his size. Willie Mack has a lot of the match up because of his power. He almost has the match a couple of times. Chris Bay cheats a few times to win. Goes for his springing famouser a couple times. Does that. He eventually gets the win with a flipping stunner. Hits it. Good little match. Chris Bay looked really good in the win. Willie Mack looked good. He's probably going to go for the world title eventually. That was pretty good. After that, we get a Heath Slater and Rhino promo saying, I was like, yeah, it's really good to see Heath, yay, doing all great. And then Scott D'Amore who's the producer slash general manager or the authority figure on Impact, comes up and says, "Seth, I see you're wearing a Sea shirt that said free agent on it, wearing his old WWE merch, or maybe it's his new merch he has." And says, "Oh, it says you're a free agent, so you don't even work here. Considering the global, issue thing, you're not having guests, and you're gonna have to leave. I don't know, man. Come to the show Tuesday. Give me a call before you get here. We'll work something out. We'll help you get a job." Rhino looked good. Heath Slater looked really good. Pretty good segment. After that, we get a video package for the North, and the North versus Sammy Callahan and Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock still looks jacked to all hell for a man of his age. The match was pretty good, or at least 3 men in the match were really good. Everyone except Shamrock looked really good. Shamrock was moving slow. It's probably past his prime. It's good that he's in a tag match, so they kind of hide him. Sammy Callahan and Ken Shamrock look really good. Shamrock is mostly all Sammy taking the beating. There's a spot where Ken Shamrock gets the ankle lock on Ethan Page. Josh Alexander puts an ankle lock into Sammy Callahan, and they back into each other. Eventually, they break down. They're not really winning. Sammy Callahan hits power driver on Ethan Page at one point. He goes for the pin. Josh Alexander breaks it up, and Shamrock's just looking at him. There's a spot on the ropes for Shamrock's, going to do his high kick, and he hits Sammy, and the whole thing breaks down. Pretty good. I gotta say, it's nothing special, but it was a pretty good match. We knew that, Ken Shamrock and Sammy Callahan should have lost that match, but after that, the North starts bragging and say, "Hey, we've been the tag team champion for a year. We're the best tag team champion in the world. No one can stop us." Out come the Motor City Machine Guns, basically challenging them for a match on Impact. I would love to see some more of the Motor City Machine Guns. I know it's been about 15 years since they were really in the prime of Impact, going after the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title against Tetsuya Naito and Yujiro Takahashi of No Limit. Man, Impact's been around that long. When Tetsuya Naito was a junior heavyweight, being this, happy-go-lucky babyface. Yeah. After that, we get a hype video of Jordan Grace and Deonna Purrazzo. This hype video was better than the match. I'm not saying the match was good. It was great. The whole story of the match is Deonna Purrazzo working on the one with Jordan Grace because she's fighting MMA, and that's her finisher is an armbar. So he works on the arm. Grace tries to power over by using her power moves, but can't get all of it. Power move. Deonna Purrazzo, it's a good back and forth match. I didn't really have my attention when I was watching the match. It looked pretty good. The story was, Deonna Purrazzo was going to work that arm, and Jordan Grace couldn't do anything about it. So eventually, Deonna Purrazzo wins with an armbar, but instead of just your standard visual armbar, she grabs her other arm and stretches that over, so you have both arms in pain, kind of like a unique Rings of Saturn. And Grace's tap, as soon as she got into it, she had one arm down, and a regular visual armbar had this arm around her head. Yeah, it looked painful as fuck, and tapped. And tapped. Then we had the main event. The main event was really good. Really good. We had a video package of hyping it up, saying, "I don't care who the Mystery Man is. I don't care who the Mystery Man is." And oddly enough, one of the Mystery Men didn't win this match. We have Ace Austin with Madman Fulton. We got Eddie Edwards. We got Trey. After that, we had Rick Swann come out, and I instantly found like Impact's going to Impact, giving us Rich Swann, hyping up the former world champions, hyping up the Good Brothers, hyping up every former world champion you had, and we got Rick Swann. I was pissed. Then we got Eric Young. Eric Young's new music hits. He comes out wearing a hockey mask. Boston Bruins great Gary Cheever, so it was all stitched up because Cheevers, when he got hit with the puck, he would mark it like he would for a stitch. This is a stitch I don't have to get. Had that all marked up. He looked great. Took off the mask. He's clean shaved. Looks a little odd. Looked a little better with the beard. Maybe that's just me being facetious. Really nice white pants, clean stuff. Had a really great back tattoo. And Eric Young's looking all crazy-eyed. If you don't know your Impact history, Eric Young's been in TNA a long time. He came in with Team Canada. He was doing that. Begged Jeff Jarrett for a job. Got him a job. Been on Impact the majority of his career. At started, he was Showtime Eric Young. He was afraid of his promo. His own pyro. Had some shows on Animal Planet. Was a crazy character for a little while. Eric Young's done a lot of unique stuff in Impact. Won every belt. Was threatened to be fired. Was Bobby Roode's slave, essentially. Had a tar and feather match. Had something with the team Don't Fire Eric chant. That got over. Was Super Eric a superhero for a little while in the Brotherhood of Justice. Eric Young's done a lot. Actually held the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship, even though he's not a knockout champion. Yeah, him and ODB won it. And he's never really changed his character. He went from goofy, stupid, crazy to psychotic, I'm going to fuck up your shit crazy, which he's actually playing now. The Eric Young insanity, like that, except not without a filter. This whole match starts off with basically everyone in this match except Ace Aries and Rick Swann has beef with Ace Dawson. Trey, the Rascals was because he beat up his friend and took his friend out of a match, and also like hit on one of the Rascals' moms, and was like hitting on that for the X Division title. And then with Eddie Edwards, it was he tried to hit on his wife and end his marriage, which would be a reason why you'd be pissed off at someone. So that was the story of the match. Everyone trying to beat up Ace Dawson. Ace Dawson was really good. The start of this match was really, really good. There's the part when they start off with Ace and Trey beating the crap out of each other because they don't like each other and they've had a blood feud for about 6 months. And that happened. Man Fulton got involved. They took out Man Fulton. The Trey and Ace Dawson stuff is really good. Same with the Edwards and Trey stuff because they've had blood feuds for about a year. The first elimination is Trey, but it's after everyone's signature move. So he takes pretty much everyone's signature move, ends up getting hit by Eric Young with a power driver, and the power driver is the stiffest thing I've ever seen, and pins him, and is eliminated. He's the first one eliminated. And then everything builds and builds to a spot where it's Eddie Edwards and Ace Dawson are up on the top rope. It looks like he's going to a superplex outside. Essentially what happens is Rick Swann pushes them off, and they go falling through a table and are out for the next little while in a match. Eric Young goes for the power driver. Rick Swann reverses and pins him, and Eric Young, well, it's crazy Eric Young, he snaps. He snaps, grabs his hair, Pillmanizes his ankle, beats the piss out of his ankle, beats it, and screams out, "Yeah, Rich, you're done now. You made me do this, Rich. This is what you made me do, Rich." And that was good. And Eric Young, like a crazy nut job, just beat the hell out of Rick Swann. It's probably going to be a feud. Eric Young being Crazy Eric, who he's always been. Except you turn it different ways. It's naive crazy, then it's goofy crazy, and then it's psychotic crazy. Yeah. And then he forms a stable of crazy people and tries to take over NXT crazy. Eric Young's been around. It was really great seeing him do the power driver. We don't see any power drivers in WWE. And Eric Young has a great one. Ooh. And then Ace Austin comes in and he's going to pick the bones now. He's looking like he's going for a leg hold, and then Rick Swann, comes back and fights back valiantly until Rick Swann hits the fold and pins him. And Rick Swann can't get up to get out. And then we see, he's like, "Yeah, I'm so close. Look at me, I'm so close." And then Eddie Edwards makes it back. And then we start with that little bit of a mini match. And it's great. There's a point where everyone kind of goes for their signature. There's one point where Ace Austin is going for the fold, which is kind of a running, flipping, standing blockbuster. So he's running towards him. He does a flip into a neck breaker and catches him. So it's a beautiful looking move. That gets reversed to a suplex. Eddie Edwards hits the Bossini Party, the running knee lariat. That actually won him a world title. And he kicks out, and Ace Austin hits the fold, and Edwards kicks out. And there's one point where he goes up for like a flipping move, and he doesn't hit that. And then Eddie Edwards hits the Emerald Fusion, or the Die Hard Fusion. Die Hard Eddie Edwards. He must have used as an old finisher at some point. I haven't seen it in a very long time. And wins the title for the second time, beating Ace Austin, who tried to break up his marriage, and justifying him changing his character, because he used to be this really clean cut baby face, used to wear tights, used to be clean shaving, and now is coming wrestling in jeans, using a kendo stick, being a brawler. This is new version of Eddie Edwards, not happy technical wrestler, the best in the world, American Wolves, Eddie Edwards. Wins the match. After the match, he's celebrating, and Madman Fulton come out, and they deck them. And then after that, it happens. The music hits, we get the Good Brothers. Good Brothers come out, clean house. There's a spot where Eddie Edwards is in the corner, and they go, okay, we're the men around here, we're the guys. And Carl Anderson hits a gun stunner, which I have not seen since New Japan, because they weren't using it. He wasn't using the cutter because it was Randy Orton's move on Ace. And then they hit the magic killer on Madman Fulton. I'm actually really excited to see the Good Brothers in TNA. I think they should have some really great matches with like Triple XL Fun Size, with the Deaners. Impact has probably the second greatest tag team division in the world right now, with the Deaners, Triple XL Fun Size, the Rascals, the Motor City Machine Guns, the North, Follow Ball and TJP, Slater and Rhino. Yeah, they have a really great tag division. And they're also going to a work in New Japan. They could really help out the Bullet Club quite a bit when they're allowed to travel. We could see a Bullet Club Civil War within a year. And then they have beer with Eddie Edwards. Everyone's happy. And then it fades to black. And then we see him. Then we see the guy who knew would be here all along. We see EC3. By a black wall where he's been cutting promos. Has a glass of brandy, I believe, in his hand. Throws it against the wall. And that's how the pay-per-view goes off the air. So it did everything it needed to do well. Put over the Motor City Machine Guns. They're getting a match with the North. Tuesday on Impact. We get Heath Slater. Looking like he's going to release Rhino. He doesn't have a job, but Rhino's going to try to get him one. Release Eric Young and shows him that if you only ever seen Eric Young on the WWE, it shows him that he's a freaking psychopath. Pillman noises Rick Swan's ankle, so that's going to set up that angle. We get Eddie Edwards as the new world champion. It looks like he's going to be continuing his feud with Ace Austin, which he should have. Get over the Good Brothers, having an alliance apparently with Eddie Edwards. And at the end, it puts over EC3, the crowning achievement of Impact, EC3. Probably the best homegrown talent that they've ever had. If not for AJ Styles, he's probably the best pure Impact person in Impact. The show was great. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Impact needed to come out and look like a good show again, and it did. I'm actually going to be watching Impact Tuesday night live, probably for the first time, probably in about 10 to 15 years, if I can catch it. I'm not working. It was a great show. Go to everybody and see it. Y'all have a great night. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Really helps out. Have a great night.